Hey guys, this is not usually a video I normally make because I make players for Madden and how to make that specific player. The first thing I would like to, the biggest one it's not any of your guys' fault. I never really address it. Every player's rating is subject to change. Later on in the year, I will make a roster for you guys to download, and I will change the ratings. Yes, I will change the ratings. Like recently, let's say Cam Ward, I have him at a 72 overall. He's projected to be the number 1 overall pick. I am obviously going to change that. I am obviously not going to make him a 72 overall, be the number 1 quarterback taken off the board. That's stupid. Wow, 72 overall is very low. I even have Marcus Mabau, I think that's how you say it, from Purdue. I have him at, I think, a 69 overall. He is not a 69 overall. When I made him, he was a 4th rounder, alright? Every rating is subject to change. I'm sorry, I haven't really told anyone that. But that's one thing I need to get across. The ratings are not going to be perfect, because by the time I made them, they weren't good. Or now, let's say I made Carson Beck a while ago, and if you've noticed, I deleted that video because he's not draft eligible, which I will actually get into later on in the video about that draft eligible stuff. But one thing I do need to mention, every rating is subject to change, and when I'm in the actual video that you watch, ignore the overall, just make the player, have the ratings, do it, and then you can adjust the ratings if you don't like it. I'm sorry, I didn't think Marcus Mabau would be a very good prospect until today, because he is now, some people have him in the 1st round. When I made him about maybe 3 or 4 months ago, he was not a 1st round talent at all. He was just an average Purdue lineman. There's a little biasy there because I am an IU fan, but when he played against IU Hoosiers, he was not the greatest. So, just want to mention that. But yeah, no disrespect at all. I actually like him now. His draft stock has went up. Jalen Milroe, I think I have him at a 70. With his draft stock slowly falling, he'll probably be lower. And Jackson Darts overall will probably get higher because his draft stock has been rising. But that is the one thing I just want to make sure everyone knows now. Going forward, every overall is subject to change. When I make the roster for you to download later, sometime in April, maybe around May, then every rating will be right. Then you guys will like it. Or you can just download it and change the ratings for yourself. You can do that as well. But for right now, the ratings are not perfect. I will tell you that. I'm not proud of it either. I wouldn't have expected a couple of these players to be insanely good. Like Deion Burks, I have him at a 72 overall. He is now a projected maybe a 5th round pick. Yeah, 5th round picks aren't really 72 overall to start the game. So I will obviously tune that down. But just so everyone knows, before you watch my videos, every rating is not correct. The only one I think I did decently well for the first round of the draft is probably Tederick McMillan. Luther Burden's rating is a little too high, but that can be tuned down a little bit. But just so you know, my roster will be tuned perfectly, but just if you want to make these players into your draft class, you want to make these players onto your roster, the ratings are not perfect. You can change them however you like, however you view their draft stock, but just so you guys know, if it's not a player rating you like, you can always change it. Alright, now that's out the way. Just one more reminder. Ratings are subject to change in every single video. Perfect, I don't have to talk about that anymore. No more in my videos. If you guys complain in the comments that you don't like this rating, just watch this video. Just so you know, I don't have to make any more community posts about this. Every rating is subject to change. They are not perfect, and I will change them depending on their draft stock and where they land in the real draft in April. Then the next thing I would like to talk about is a lot of people have been wanting me to make like these freshmen in college, like Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Arch Manning, Lenore Sellers. There's one problem that comes to that. They are not draft eligible. The players I make have to be draft eligible. Now, originally I've made about 360 players, but I've deleted at least 20 or 30 players because they've either transferred, stayed in college. Yeah. Any players that are still on my playlist are draft eligible and are officially declared for the draft. There might be a couple players that I might have missed out on, and maybe they came back for one more year. I will figure that out once the combine starts. That's when like declaring is like official. I will check that again, and I will make any changes if necessary, delete them But yeah, that's one thing I need to tell you. I made Carson Beck, Connor Weigman, Miller Moss. There's some quarterbacks who are staying. Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller. As much as I love those guys and think they would have been high draft picks, they stayed, so I had to delete the video. The players I make that I publish on YouTube are only for draft eligible players of that current year. Alright, I feel like that's one thing you guys should know. Before you guys spam me with make Jeremiah Smith, make Arch Manning, I can't. They are not draft eligible. So by going forward, actually, I think I can make Arch Manning next year because I think he got redshirted last year, so he'd be a redshirt sophomore, which is eligible for the draft. So next year, I think I can make Arch Manning, but if he transfers or if he stays in college for one more year, I have to delete that video because he's not going to the draft that year. So that's my logic. That's what I have to go. Yeah, it's where you gotta have to go with. I'm sorry to break any of your guys' hearts that I can't make Arch Manning or Jeremiah Smith. I'm sorry, but they are not draft eligible, and probably for years to come, I will keep making them, and I will keep deleting the videos if they stay in college for another year. Dante Corleone, I think I've made him for 3 years straight now, and he has kept saying he wants to keep at Cincinnati. So this is like the second or third time I've had to delete his player creation video because he keeps staying in college. See, that's a good example right there. Is there anything else I want to talk about before I head off here? But I think that's about it. If any guys want to know if I have a roster available, if I have a draft class available, I do not have a draft class. I'm sorry to say that. Next year, I will have a draft class. Next year, I'll have a draft class. I forgot to do that this year, and I feel like putting 350 players into the thing in the draft class right now seems like a lot of work. So I'll probably do that next year. But for rosters, I will have that at the end of the Super Bowl. Madden releases their last roster update after the Super Bowl. I make my roster files once the Super Bowl is over and Madden stops updating the game. So we get the latest game available. So all ratings are where they need to be. And once the Super Bowl is over, I think maybe 1 or 2 weeks after, I should have a roster available. So I think maybe February, mid-February, maybe late February, I will have a roster available for you, and I will post it on PS5. Just so you know, make sure you're on PS5. If you want to download my roster, it would only be available on PS5, not PS4. That's different. I mean, it's different consoles, different community files. So PS5 only. I do have to mention that. But I did try making a draft class. I believe it is under my username. The problem is I only have like 20 players made. So if you wanna, I mean, you can go into a draft class, use my player creations, and make them for your own. That'd be great. I think if you can do that on your own, I mean, you deserve a cookie. Like that. That's a lot of work, man. So if one of you could do that, that'd be awesome. So I could use my own players without me having to put them in the game, manually doing it every time. So that would be cool. But yeah, I do have a draft class. It's only got like 20 players in it. It is under my username. I haven't checked how many downloads it has. Probably has like 20. I don't expect it to have a lot because, well, you know what? This was a bad year for draft classes because I've tried the most downloadable draft classes, like the most downloaded. Like this one has like nearly 1 million, and it still has like Carson Beck, and still has players who are not even eligible for the draft. So the draft, I've tried downloading so many draft classes, and trust me, I would tell you guys if I found a good one. I just haven't. There just isn't good ones on PS5. On Xbox there are, but on PS5 they're not. So next year, don't worry, I'll have one next year for you guys to download. And every year I'm going to have a roster file for you guys to download. That's just an every year thing. And I think I'll end the video with one last thing. It's not, I don't think it affects you. It doesn't affect you, but it affects me. So I can't really show you because I don't really feel like showing you because it's pretty rare and it doesn't happen all the time. But when you make a player and then you save them to your roster, sometimes it resets the player. Like, let's say you make a white quarterback. Like, I'm not being, I'm just using it as an example. Let's say you make a quarterback. Let's just say you make Drew Aller. I don't know. I can't really think of any white quarterbacks in this year's draft. Actually, Curtis Rourke. Never mind, Curtis Rourke. You can try Curtis Rourke. Let's say you make him, and then you save him, and then when you go to the roster file, and then you select your player and hit edit player, like try like edit his jersey number, he will be black, and he will, in his entire face, his uniform, everything will be reset. I don't know if any of you guys have had this problem or not, but it's very annoying. It is very annoying. I hate it. There is one way to work around it. Basically, once you see that, you exit the player, you exit the roster file, you hit save and exit. That's it. Then you quit the game. You quit the game, then you boot the game back up again, and once you boot the game back up again, you load the roster again, and then the player should be permanently good. This happens to some players. It won't happen to everyone, but just so you guys aren't like freaking out if you ever want to make these, just save if it ever happens, just save the roster, quit the game, join the game back on, and load the roster back up again, and he should be good. That part has annoyed me for so long, and I'm not sure if I'll get every player this time, because last year they had a player limit for you to make for everyone. So I couldn't. So for my roster file, like completely updated, like the day before Madden, like the new Madden comes out, I won't have every single player made. It's ridiculous. I should be able to make as many players as I want, but Madden is a horrible game company, and I'm not sure if it's the same this year. So I'm sorry if I'm not saying it will, but if that happens again, I will definitely let you guys know. You can use a different roster. That's okay. But if you can download it, if you download it, then you'll have at least 200 players made. Then you can make all the rest of the players. You can do that. That only affects me. That doesn't have to affect you. You can just make The other ones, like the other 50 players that Madden won't let me make, that are rookies and on their new teams after April, that will benefit you. You can do that. But when I'm in the process of making, I think I have 350 players made now. There might be a limit. It might stop me at 215. It might stop me at 200. It might even stop me at 100. I hope it doesn't do that. I hope it doesn't stop me. But if it does, you'll still have my roster file. But if it ever does that, you can just download it and then make the rest of the players. And again, you have the videos. That's why I posted them, just in case if this were to ever happen, you can go into my videos and make them for your benefit. And I think that's where I'll end it here. Again, this was just like a disclaimer, just something for you to know beforehand, and later on in my channel. I will have a roster. I will have a draft class next year, and stop asking me to make players who are freshmen. All right. I think that's about it. It's been a while since I made this kind of video. The last one I kind of did was like making a mock draft, and like I actually talked to you guys. But that's about it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the support on all of my videos. I wouldn't say it like it's hard, but it's a grind. It's 350 players is a lot, and obviously you can tell I'm unemployed. So it's just something. It's just a fun little side project I do. I hope it helps you guys out. But yeah, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you so much for the support. I think we're almost at 1,500 subscribers. If we can hit that, that'd be amazing. But thank you guys so much for watching the videos. It means a lot to me with all the comments, all of the nice comments, telling me to keep going, telling me to stay strong, keep on making these videos, that the guys really rely on these videos. I feel special. I feel really special to you guys, and I'm gonna keep doing it no matter what. Every year I will make these. I promise. Hopefully I don't go homeless or something, but thank you. But then again, I'm just gonna end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos, and I will keep making. I think 350 is where I'll end it, but if a player jumps up to like a second or third round, then I'll make him. But I think I'm done with the player creations for this year, and next year I'm probably going to reach 350 again, maybe even 400. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. It's been a grind this year, but I'll see you once I get my new roster file updated in a couple of weeks. So thanks for watching, and have a good day.